All right, so we're going to pick one of the most requested pieces. It's called Pachelbel's Canon because it's done for weddings, funerals, anniversaries, and we'll just play that just to demonstrate one of the most popular classical pieces of music. Now, it is considered a classical piece of music, but it's not from the classical era, not to be confused. It's from the Baroque era, so that means it's Baroque and we don't want to fix it.
We should make sure the piano's in tune. Good.
And some people say my violin playing makes them cry.
Oh, it's like a chalkboard.
All right,
Like at school. Oh,
ready?
ready?
Sure.
Wait, what are we doing?
Taco Bell, I
Taco
think,
Bell?
yeah.
We did that exactly as written. Yes.
That song is used also because we did a very short arrangement of it, but it can go indefinitely long. It's one of those songs that never ends. Okay, so now there's different eras. That I mentioned, that was the Baroque. Before that was the pre-Renaissance. It started out with the Gregorian chant. Well, there was stuff earlier than that too, but
Yeah, they used to sing that in the old churches without any accompaniment. It was just a melody. But this is an example.
excellent.
And this music that we just played, there were no pianos invented yet. And there were some strings instrument,
Yeah, lutes and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
but no pianos yet.
Now going into the Renaissance, King Henry VIII, and we know the song as a Christmas song, Greensleeves. But there's a difference. The original was, see, this note is higher, but when they changed it to Greensleeves, they went, so it was, yeah, so, well, yeah. we're limited on time, that's why we're doing such little versions of each song. Let me see, where am I? Okay. Bach is the Baroque era, and you all know this one. This is Minuet in G.
Go ahead. See, and the minuet was a very popular dance form. A lot of Baroque music was in dance forms, and the minuet is before you had the waltz, but it's in 3/4. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. A lot of music is really in 2/4.
If you want, I can play it again and you could dance for us.
No, not at my age. No.
Oh, of course. Classical era is very well known. Mozart, and I'm going to play for you Eine kleine Nachtmusik. Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
Starting to get into it. Jeez.
Well, we have a lot here, so.
I know.
And we have, like to have some of you come in and join us and do a few things, and we have some guest performers too today. And now transition between classical and the next era is a romantic era, and people say that this composer is both. And that's Beethoven, because early Beethoven was classical, and then later Beethoven was romantic. So this needs no introduction. That's enough. Okay. You do know that he was deaf, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Romantic. Probably the best. You know, it's hard to do a program like this because there's so many pieces of music. What do you choose? I chose Tchaikovsky. Probably from the Sleeping
Beauty?
Beauty, yep.
Yeah, go
So.
ahead.
Well, that's right. Thank you.
And everyone's familiar with Tchaikovsky because what is the famous ballet that he wrote? Do you know? So if there's anyone studying ballet, you'll probably be in the Nutcracker.
Okay, well now, the violin and the piano can do all sorts of different types of music. So I'd like to pick something called swing music. You could call it jazz if you wanted to. But it's a very well-known song, Little Brown Jug.
You start it. Go ahead.
Oh, you started.
I forgot my jug.
Oh, okay. Now another jazz type of thing, and this is his expertise, is ragtime. So why don't you give us a nice ragtime?
Let's do the.
No, let's let you showcase.
All right, he's putting me on the spot here. And I'll talk about this briefly, but I was going to use this as an example later, that I didn't use much pedal because this piece actually shows the percussiveness nature of this instrument, the piano being percussive and string too, but I'll talk about that a little later.
And there will be a quiz at the end of the
Yes.
program. One thing though, it's funny, it's nice to see so many young kids. What happens in your childhood does affect you later, and he loves ragtime, and I got to tell you what inspired him. Years ago, there used to be an amusement park called Crystal Beach in Canada. The younger generation won't know what I'm talking about, but there was a fun house, and it had a skeleton playing ragtime piano. And as a kid, he would always stand in front of that skeleton and watch it play, and it inspired him, and that's why he loves ragtime piano, because he wants to be just like that skeleton, you know?
Has a little more meat on me, as you can see.
Now me, I don't know what inspired me to play the violin, because when I had to choose in school, I chose the trumpet. And the teacher gave me the mouthpiece. And I'm telling this story because many of you might start an instrument or maybe frustrated. I had the mouthpiece for 2 weeks and I couldn't make a sound. And then the teacher said, "I'm sorry, but you're not going to play the trumpet." And then he went and he played something on the piano and he asked me, "Could you sing it?" And I have perfect pitch. So I sang it and he said, "Well, you got to play the violin." And I said, "I don't want to play the violin. I don't like it." But, you know, it stuck. So it didn't do me any harm, I guess. All right. Now, the ragtime with the piano, wouldn't you say that Scott Joplin was probably the one that made ragtime piano the most famous?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And so for violin, they also call this the fiddle. And people always ask me, what's the difference between the fiddle and the violin? And I always say the violinist has all their teeth. All right, bad. All right. I'm going to do a piece called Boil Them Cabbage, but it's also known as Boiled Them Cabbage. Oh, you can clap. Now, what I did there was more called bluegrass. That's because I played two strings at the same time. But fiddle, old-time fiddle, would be more like this. So that was more notey, you know? All right. Okay, we're doing good on time. Now, ethnic music, gypsies, and just different nationalities. You know, there's like the Indian, you know, not Native American Indian, but from India, you know, with a. It's interesting. They usually sit on the floor and bare feet, and it's a very interesting kind of fiddle music, I guess you can say. And then there's and this part where it was Urahim and Vasameo. Well, I always thought they were saying Burger King and hold the mail. Burger King and hold the mail. They're Jewish. They're not allowed to mix, you know. So.
Yeah, you just have to be our age to understand.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's another type of fiddle music. All right, key of G.
So, as you can see, fiddle music and when violin music, I mean, fiddle and violin is the same instrument. Fiddle is just the way that you play it.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I guess, yeah.
They're just fiddling around.
Now, and fiddle is, that's why I wanted to show you, when you do say fiddle, it can mean many things. Could also mean this. Hey! Hey! So, thank you. That's Hungarian music. So that's also a type of ethnic music. Now I'd like to do some American folk music. And we play a lot at nursing homes, and people like to sing along with this one. This is an all-time favorite. Some people say home on the range has a different meaning. because the typical housewife had to be home on the range cooking. Okay. Back then. Ivan, why don't you do a few things when you do your program?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Greg. Sure. Nice applause. So of course, his instrument is the violin, which is part of what family of instruments? Strings. Strings, okay. Now, this is an interesting instrument, the piano. Now, some people call it a percussion instrument, some people call it a string instrument, but it's a combination of that. How many have seen the inside of a piano before? Who, if there isn't someone that hasn't, come up and take a look. Who wants to come take a look? Anybody? Oh, okay. Anybody want to take a look inside of the piano? Come on. Just be careful of the mics, but if you look inside the piano, what instrument does that look like a little bit? A harp. Yeah, you see, he got the right answer. Inside, it looks like a harp. Now be careful what I'm going to do. And the right of the piano, down at the bottom, is 3 pedals. The ones that are mostly used, the right pedal, they call it the damper pedal, because if I press the pedal down, do you see these black things come up? Those are the dampers. Now a damper is the same thing. Like I'm talking, and I'm talking now. See? Welcome to McDonald's. Okay. So, so the same thing here. You see, if they're playing on the strings now, but if I lift the dampers, now try it again. See, you hear more sonority. That's why sometimes the damper pedal is also called the loud pedal. And this one here on the left is called the soft pedal. Oh, kids, come around here. I want to show you something. Be careful. Okay. Now, when I press the left pedal, see, I pressed the right pedal before, remember, and those black things, the dampers came up. Now I'm going to press the left pedal and watch what happens to the keyboard. See, it shifts. Now, why would that make the piano sound softer if the keyboard shifts? Do you know? Almost, if you look at the piano, the higher strings, there's 3 strings to each note. So each of these notes, when I play them, there's 3 strings. But when I go down to the bass, it becomes 2 strings and then 1. So when I move the soft pedal, it only hits 2 of the strings, and then maybe one of the strings down there. So that's how it becomes soft. And well, we'll forget about the middle pedal, but that's like a special damper pedal where I sustain 1 note, and the rest aren't sustained, and I could use the right pedal with it. See, and it still sustains. But the middle pedal is not used as much. They really like that harp, don't they? Okay, good, thank you. Now, Greg used this example before, but first I'll mention, what's the name of this instrument? Piano. Now, do you know what the word piano means? Yes, it means soft. A lot of words in music were in Italian, so the word for soft is piano. But if I play this, is this soft or loud? Loud, right? So does anyone know what the Italian word for loud is? Forte, they sing. Okay, so back in the early days of this instrument, there was an instrument during the time of Bach called the harpsichord. It looked very similar, but when you press the keys, they plucked the strings. So if you pluck the strings, you can't make it loud or soft. Once it's plucked, the sound is gone. Now, in a piano, it's different. You hit the string, and the string vibrates. But if I press the keys faster, I can make it louder or gentle, soft. So the original name of this instrument was fortepiano. And during the time of Beethoven, they actually called their instruments fortepiano because that was a new thing. It started in the Baroque era, where they started to put in music soft and loud, and crescendo, which means louder, and decrescendo, which means softer. So because of these changing ideas in loudness and softness, you needed an instrument that could do loud and soft and everything in between. So the piano developed into the instrument that we know today, that it can play loud and soft, and you can sustain the tones. See, with the right pedal, the damper pedal. Or if I don't use it, it's more of a percussive thing. Like I mentioned, if you see marimbas or xylophones, they're laid out very similar with this, and then like the black keys, but they're not black on a marimba. If you know that, that's like a xylophone solo. I think that's about it for that. Yeah.
Well, the violin has 4 strings, G, D, A, and E. And the maker who's the most famous for making a violin is called, his name was Stradivarius. People ask me if this is a Stradivarius, and I say, no, it's my version. It's called a Scratchavarius. But what I'd like to show you is theme and variations of how you can take a simple song and make it fancier. So I'm going to take this simple Beethoven piece. Now, as you get more advanced, we do something called an octave above. So this was, I started on a B. I'm going to start on a B again, but a higher one now. Now it gets a little fancier. Fancier? Sure. that's why you practice.
That made me feel dizzy watching.
Well, when I hear it, it's more like this. But we all started there, you know. Okay. I'd like to ask a volunteer. I'm going to do Pop Goes the Weasel. Oh, she's making a face. Come on up. Right over there. Okay, we'll practice. What I'd like you to do is just take that string and pluck it.
Ouch.
Got it. Hey, good. Hey. That was great, huh? Oh, what else do I have here? All right. In music, music can portray a lot of different moods. Instead of doing songs, I want to show you that if you know how to handle the violin properly, you can create a mood, and it doesn't even have to be a piece of music. I'm going to just do a scale. Nothing fancy there. I'm going to give you 3 moods: happy, sad, and surprise. And you got to guess which one I'm doing. What do you think? Sad. Okay. Surprise!
Surprise me, jeez.
Are you all right there? Okay. I thought you were going to fly up into the ceiling.
At my age, I'll get a heart attack.
I guess you got that one. So now, you saw what I did. With the sad, I got softer and I got slower. And the surprise, you can see where I started out one way and then surprised you. In fact, there was a piece written called the Surprise Symphony, because that was Haydn, right?
Yeah.
Where was he? I don't know. He was
He was
hiding.
hiding.
But what he had, his orchestra was playing, and I guess the emperor,
Probably.
whoever that guy was, anyway. Well, he wanted him. He was falling asleep, so he wrote a song to surprise the emperor, and it went like this.
Still works today.
Still works. So that was called the
that
Surprise
one,
Symphony.
You knew that was going to happen, right? Yeah.
All
You're
right.
too smart. You're too smart.
Well, I'm going to give you. Oh yeah. So now I forgot to do happy. So happy, you can say, well, then maybe I got to play it faster. Okay. Or the way I play it, I could play it like this. Or this sounds even happier. So I wanted you to see how I didn't change the notes, but I played, this is called just détaché. This is called staccato. And this is called spiccato. And again, there will be a quiz at the end of this program. All right, I'm not gonna give you a mood. Let's see if you can guess the mood. So I'm not even gonna tell you. So what would you say? Nervous, scary. Some people say cold. All right, this is an easy one. Mad, yeah. That's when they didn't give you good candy.
No, you know
on
what that
Halloween.
sounds like? Walking through the snow in Buffalo, like.
Yeah, that's true. Or shoveling it, yeah.
That'll make you mad.
Okay,
Right? See, they understand.
all righty. I'm gonna see how good you guys are with rhythm. I'm gonna do this song. And then you gotta go. I didn't finish. I gotcha.
Me too.
All right, that was a lot of fun. You guys passed. Okay. All right, well, Ivan, if you can give me some traveling music.
Okay.
I've got to travel back there. Now it's called a fiddle, as I was speaking about fiddle, but you don't play it with a bow. It's a very, very old kind of instrument.
Oh, no.
It's called the stump fiddle. Donna, if you could come out.
Where does he find this stuff? Come on, right there. Oh, gosh. Boy, it looks like something from a garage sale glued together.
Yeah, why don't you demonstrate all the different sounds?
It doesn't work so well.
Oh, it's a bicycle.
Goes that way, okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, give us a beat.
Now, that's real percussion. Okay.
Here we go. Roll out the barrel. We got a barrel of fun. Thank you. I guess it's a percussion instrument, right? Yeah, okay. All right, can I have some more travel music, Ivan?
I learned all my music from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. I think he did too.
Come on in. Here we go. And what is your name?
Lila,
Lila. How old are you?
10.
10. She's going to play us something she just started, about a year or so. Something like that, I don't know. You're ready. We're going to start out with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You ready? Go. Third finger. E, that's okay. Now D. Excellent. Thank you. Sure. All right. Now we have someone else for you. Travel music? Hey. We have here a cellist, which is a member of the string family. It's just a violin that grew too big. And your name?
Sophia Blackwell,
And you're how old?
12,
12. And you've been playing for how long?
3 years.
Okay, what are you going to play for us today?
Noel,
Noel. The funny thing about that song, if you spell it, there is an L. Get it? Noel? L?
to get a pizza. Anytime now. It's too short of a keyboard.
Okay. Now, when I oh, great. When I spoke about ethnic music, this is a special violin, a gypsy violin, and they use this in the streets of Romania because many times you were playing outside and it was raining or it was snowing, and you can't have a violin out in the rain or the snow or the cold. It will crack. And many of the people, they couldn't afford to buy a violin, so they just took a piece of wood, and then this part here is the part off the old Victrola 78s. You know how you had that little arm, and the needle would go into that, and you would hear it, and then they had the little horn. Well, they turned that into a violin, and they took a horn and put it on there, so there's no body, and it's directional. So if I'm here, you can't really hear it, but as I move, so it's kind of, and it was used also for the old recordings, the 78 recordings, because the violin wasn't loud enough, so that way they could play right into the microphone. So let's do Amazing Grace.
Okay.
Okay. It certainly has an interesting sound. I don't know if I like it, but it is very difficult to play because this part where your hands is a lot thicker, and also there's nothing. If I want to play up higher, there's no body, so it's kind of hard to move your hand around because and also there's nothing to really hold the violin up. You kind of it's not the greatest, but a lot of times the stuff that they would play would be like. It's kind of strange stuff, so, but you don't have to play very well to do that. All right, could I have some more traveling music, please?
More? Sure.
Well, thank you. Before we end our program, do we have any questions or anything to say? Yes, young lady.
Okay. So, but I want to ask a question. So, how do all of these instruments work?
How do all these instruments work?
Like the one you press against your neck.
Yes, well, first of all, this part here is called a bow. And this is horsehair. They don't hurt the horse. They don't kill the horse or anything. The horse gets a haircut just like we do. Just the way I do. I get haircuts every day. Anyways, but the horsehair is very slippery. So we have this from a tree sap. It's called rosin. And we put it on the hair. And so it grips the string. And so that's how you get the sound. You notice that I'm moving. If I go like this, you're not going to hear anything. So I have to move. And the violin is very difficult, and the cello, all those instruments, because if I don't press hard enough, you don't get a good sound. And of course, if I press too hard, that's not also a good sound. So that's how that works. And just how you saw the piano with the keys, well, this is kind of, and it's harder to play the violin than the piano in the sense that you can see there's nothing that tells me where to put my fingers. So I have to be able to hear the note. So if I did Mary Had a Little Lamb and I went, and I'm using the right fingers, I'm just using 2 fingers for this song. Well, on piano, if you use the fingers and put it on the keys, it comes out good. It doesn't matter if you hit the key higher or lower or on the side. As long as you hit the right key, you get the right note. You can't play the piano out of tune unless the piano is not in tune. But the violin, I can use the same fingers, and you can, I hope you can tell that that wasn't the right note. All right, how about if I do this? Okay, I was using the right fingers, and I hope that you can tell that that wasn't the right melody. If you couldn't tell, then you should probably play the piano.
Greg, can I quick show? Who wants to quick come up here? Just one person. Want to come up? And I'll show what he's. No, just take your second finger and And then do this one. And then go back up. See? He just did it in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter what anybody here can do that. So,
And you can't learn to play the violin in 2 seconds, I'll tell you that right now. Anyways, any
Thank
other
you.
questions? Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do you still wish you could have played the
Oh.
trumpet? Oh. Do you still wish you could have played the trumpet?
In some ways, yes, but the trumpet is just too loud. But it's a great instrument, you know. But in fact, there is a gentleman, I heard them play Ave Maria, beautiful, and they played it on the trumpet, and it was beautiful. It wasn't loud. It was really nice. So I guess if you know what you're doing, you can sound great. You know, that's what, but unfortunately, in order to sound great on your instrument, you have to practice so much. How much do you think a long time is to practice for a day?
For a day, you could do half an hour, like at the least.
Okay, I love that. A half an hour will not get you anywhere on the violin. When I was a kid, I started out with about an hour, and then by the time I was 10, 11, I did at least 3 hours a day. And then during the summer, sometimes 3 to 6 hours a day. And then when we were playing in Argentina on tour, I would wake up in the morning, practice, eat lunch, practice, have dinner, practice. That was the whole day, you know, and then sometimes we would take a day off and, you know, go somewhere because, you know, you get crazy
you have to have a
practicing.
break. Break is
Yeah, I mean, you
important,
could just practice too much, you know. So that's the kind of dedication needed. Yeah, it's really difficult. And like even this, we didn't have time to warm up. And, you know, I feel bad for him because at least I get to take my violin with me everywhere I go. So I play my violin, but he has to play on whatever piano is there. And sometimes we've been places where the pianos were horrible, you know, like a key would stick or a key would miss. They wouldn't even be there. So then we would have to say, well, I guess we're going to have to play the song in a different key so that we don't play the notes that are missing.
Yeah.
You know, so we'd have to change. You got to be pretty good to do that too, because, you know, you never know what to expect. Thank you. That was great. You know,
Great question.
any other questions? Yes.
I assume you guys practice together regularly. What's your very favorite thing to play together?
We have a bunch of different things.
Probably gypsy music, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably say gypsy music. And, you know, that is a better question than you think, because when you play, when your job is music too, a lot of the things that you do is you have to do. You know, so sometimes it's not like we play stuff for fun because it's work, you know? Like, oh, we got to learn this piece for this, we got to learn this piece, and we have to play this. So we play those pieces not because we necessarily like them and we're necessarily having fun. No, it's work, you know, we're working. So unfortunately, sometimes when we practice together, it's not we don't do it for fun, you know, we do it for work.
And sometimes his job is really hard because he does a lot of strolling. And when you do a strolling job, he's walking around. I'm just at the piano here. And then sometimes they give him all kinds of requests. You know, it could be Orange Blossom Special.
Yep. Oh,
Or they say, Oh, that's good. Can you play Mendelssohn Concerto? Or how about Tchaikovsky? Or Saber Dance? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, this
Or, see, you can rock out on the violin too, so. Anything else? If that's it, we got a closing song.
Oh, we do.
Yep,
We do?
yeah.
Okay.
And we need your help. I think you know what to do.